Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I am here wrapping up a knife for heat treat. Actually I gotta clean it up first, but I'm making my hot pocket. As you guys know, I use this stainless steel foil for doing a heat treat. I gotta heat treat my knives here. I have a knife that I gotta clean up. It is a Rogue, and that is a Michael B knife. This is a knife, one of the first ones that are gonna be going out for 2020. I don't have a lot of big plans for the end of 2019 other than family coming out and doing the normal things that most all of us do. No big remodeling projects like the past. So I'm just going and continuing on making knives. So as this video comes out, it is almost Christmas at the recording of this. And I just want to do a video and a shout out to all of you. A recap of 2019, a thank you to a bunch of people, and maybe something of, you know, what might be happening for 2020. So let me get this cleaned up and I'll get back to you. Alrighty, so I got my knife all wrapped up. I'm not going to do the heat treat just yet. I'm going to get, I got a couple of Montanas that I want to get in there and do all the heat treat at one time because they're all the same size virtually and, you know, thickness and all that. So I try to get, you know, as many of the similar items in there as possible to do a heat treat. But so today's video is basically nothing about knives, but I'm gonna get you guys set up on a stand because well, at the making of this video I have broken 9,400 subscribers on YouTube. That is cool. Also Instagram, if I didn't mention in a previous video, Instagram broke 1,000. So that means everybody on Instagram is going to be thrown into the bucket in 2020, and I am going to be doing a drawing. Right now it looks like I might have about 10 items, 10 packages to give away, small to large packages. And I've mentioned it in the past, but I wanted to mention again is originally when I did the video, I was talking about, ooh, sorry, a little chilly in the shop still. I was originally going to do just give away that Rogue that I had. That's the sandblasted one with the black micarta canvas scales. And then I got to thinking, you know, what would make it more special is if someone that might not like that Rogue but wanted a different knife, whoever that first place winner is, I'm going to gift them with a discount code that they'll be able to go on the website and they'll be able to get pretty much any knife they want. I'm going to give you a set dollar amount that you can spend. So the Rogue is going for around $360 or something like that, $350, $375, somewhere in there. So if you don't want the Rogue, I am going to give you a discount code for $360. You'll be able to go on cknifeandtool.com. You'll be able to pick out everything that you want, put it in your shopping cart, apply that discount code, and then we're off like a herd of turtles and we're running. Also, if you have a lot of questions or if you want a little bit more one-on-one treatment, you know, on how to do the knife or what we're going to do, you'll be able to contact me, call me up, and we will talk over phone, and we can go over all your details and we can discuss all the scales or any options that you have. But pretty much I will be yours for the taking to make you a custom knife. So I thought that would be really special to celebrate, bring in 2020, as well as celebrate the 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Another thing I wanted to touch on is some updates of videos that have gone out in 2018, end of 2018, 2019. One is, boy, everybody likes fodder. That was one of the first videos I put out. And if you guys don't know, fodder is actually what we used to grow. We used to use seed, barley and field pea, and we used to actually sprout it in big trays, 12 inches by 24 inches. And we have a spare bathroom and a shower. And I created this little system, a very inexpensive system, but we grew these big trays of fodder, which was just like tall grass. And we used to use it to feed our rabbits and our chickens and everything. We don't have rabbits anymore. We stopped doing rabbits a couple of years back when I was going through all my neck issues and everything. Just in case I had to have surgery or something, we didn't want a lot of work to have to be done here on the property. So we ended up getting out of rabbits, but that video has been very popular. Just because I don't do them anymore doesn't mean that's not a good idea. And I gotta say that it's 1.3 or 1.4 million views or something like that. I was just shocked. And it's still a very active video to this day, and I try to answer questions whenever I can, but it was pretty cool. Some other things is the Henry. I did the sealing, that sealant, the Henry roof sealant for the camper, old Charlie that we had. Well, alas, Charlie is not with us anymore. We left the pop-outs open and everything, and we tried to heat Charlie through the winter time to help, you know, fight against what we thought was mold and corrosion. But apparently the windows actually had some bad seals, and with the 1 year we got so much snow and cold, apparently things leaked that we didn't know about, and having the heater in the unit in the camper running allowed things to thaw out, and whether it leaked through roof vents, and a lot of it we found out was through the walls somehow. The roof sealant worked out great, but everything else went bad, and there was previous damage to Charlie once we tried to remodel him and we started to tear up the floor and do things. There was very, very old and extensive damage that we didn't know about, and we couldn't repair Charlie. My one buddy Eric was talking to me about it, and a big shout out to Eric too, down in Georgia. He does a lot of that, you know, as a profession, and it got to the point to where we could not afford, and it wasn't really financially responsible to put so much money. You're talking $5,000–6,000 minimum in Charlie to try to bring him up. So we actually ended up tearing him apart and getting rid of him, and I have the trailer parked in the back. I got his frame, and we're probably just going to turn it into a car hauler or a flatbed or something. So I've had a lot of people asking about that. And no, Charlie's not with us anymore, but the roof held up really good. Now, on a more somber note, many of you remember earlier this year I made a handmade chef's knife. I made a custom chef's knife for Jim. Jim's buddies got together and found some wood on their property in an old barn. The maple they had sent me, big blocks of maple, were from a tree that was cut down over 20 years ago. And for maple to make such tight figures and curls and such, it takes decades to make. So they sent me some wood that was a better part of at least 50 or 60, well, I would have to say 80 to 100 years old actually, because as big as this maple tree wasn't as big and thick as these boards were with the grains. It was really, really an old tree that they had harvested off their property. And I made that knife, that chef's knife, for Jim and his wife to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. I also had mentioned that Jim had decided to give up his fight in cancer. He'd been battling it for a couple of years, and he was lots of ebbs and flows, but being up there in age, it takes a lot out of you. I would venture to guess, even young, it would take a lot out of you. And so Jim decided to not fight the cancer anymore, to go through all those treatments. And middle of this year, Jim passed away. He succumbed to his cancer. But sadly, his wife also ended up having some pretty bad medical situations, a heart attack and some other issues. And she's not doing very good right now. But Jim did succumb, and he passed away, and he left us towards the fall of this year. I think it was in September he passed away, October. So my heart is open for you all, and for Jim's family and friends. I know he'll be missed because I've already talked to a couple of people that have known Jim, part of hunting camp and everything, and yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But on a more lighter note, old Trip. Yes, old Trip, as you guys have seen in the videos now, Trip is set up fairly good. I'm liking him. Rhino-Rack, big shout out to Norm and Charlie. I have, at the making of this video, I have not yet been able to put the product up they sent me. Many of you know that I put those videos out for Rhino-Rack with Josh hooking me up with the Rhino-Rack system, and then some of the troubles I was having with it and what I did to solve that problem. A lot of people jumped out. Some people sent me some fairly scathing private messages. People get their way. I mean, exclamation marks, capital letters, all that stuff. I mean, I love the Rhino-Rack system. It's still there. I love Rhino-Rack. I think it's a really good company. But some people were very offended, apparently. And now, this day and age, I guess people get offended very quickly. So they took it to sending me emails or private messages to share their dislike with my comments or what I was doing. But Charlie reached out and had some ideas for me, and I didn't know, but Charlie worked with Rhino-Rack. Had no idea. So I reached out to Norman, and Charlie and Norm sent me a bunch of stuff I will put on the Rhino-Rack because they say that's what's going to solve the whistling. So I haven't done it yet. I just got it a few days ago, and I've been busy with a lot of other things, but I am going to do it. So big shout out to Rhino-Rack, and a big shout out to Charlie and Norm, because, I mean, they didn't have to do that. They could have just jumped on me like everybody else and told me to go pound sand, called me an idiot, dork, whatever, but I didn't know. I didn't know anything about this, and Josh and I were kind of scratching our heads of what would happen. So Charlie, Norm, thank you very much. And Rhino-Rack, you got a couple of really good employees there looking out for your company and the customer service. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to getting that stuff on there and letting everybody else know how it worked out. Now, also, another big shout out to Goanna Equipment. Goanna Equipment, Karsten and Gianluca have been great supporters of CK Knife and Tool, and as you guys know, they're the ones that own Goanna Equipment. They hooked me up with the rooftop tent and the awning. I'm loving it. I have not gone out since November and done anything. Of course, busy with knives, busy with getting stuff together for the holidays, still keeping every, end of the year for us is Christmas and also the kids' schooling and everything, so it got really busy. I'm really hoping to get back down to Oregon and hook up with Josh and Tristan and do a little bit more around that Mount Hood area. That place was beautiful, so keep an eye out for more of that. But Gianluca and Karsten, thank you very much for all the support, and if you guys are looking for a rooftop tent, jump over to Goanna Equipment. And also a quick shout out to a small company that I came across from Karsten and Gianluca was offroadtents.com. Offroad Tents is the company that has the insulating liner for my Tepui, or the Tepui liner for my rooftop tent. Now it fits a lot of other tents, CVT, 230, Tepui of course, and so on. There's Smitty built and some other ones. So go over there, reach out to them. If you have a rooftop tent, a 2-3 person like mine, and even a 4-person, a bigger one, reach out to them, tell them what kind of tent you have, and that, hey, you're looking at that insulating liner, that I mentioned it, and see if it'll fit your tent, because I like that a lot. So thank you to rooftoptents.com for steering me on that. Thank you to Gianluca and Karsten with Goanna Equipment for all the support. Another big shout out to a company that I have a unexpected relationship with, that is Ground Pounder Coffee. Yes, I have become a big fan of Ground Pounder Coffee. Jim over at Ground Pounder Coffee has been a really good supporter of CK Knife and Tool. I recently put some Instagram pictures out and some videos, some things. I've been taking Ground Pounder Coffee with me for a while now on all my overlanding trips. Coyote Works Overland Rally and the stuff with Lolo Overland and Forbidden Off-Road. And recently I just got a package. I'm struggling with this sticker because I don't have my glasses on. And here we go. I just got a really awesome Christmas care package from Jim and the folks over at Ground Pounder Coffee. And one of them was this awesome sticker. So, there you go, Jim. Oh, look at that. Boom. Jim, Ground Pounder Coffee, you are now on the Cabinets of Fame. That's right. I've been putting stuff up here that I find fun, entertaining. I put companies up here that I support or support me. And I want to share those names and I want to spread the word. So check out Ground Pounder Coffee, LLC.com or groundpoundercoffee.com. I forgot what that, groundpoundercoffee.com. There it is, right there. Sorry, Jim. They're on Instagram. You'll find a bunch of links in Instagram. I'll try to put everybody I'm talking about down below. If it's a company or something, they'll be down in the description. So thank you very much to Ground Pounder Coffee. Oh, and another big shout out. I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Josh over at Lolo Overland. That was an unexpected friendship as well. Just like Ground Pounder Coffee and Goanna Equipment. Josh has been outstanding supporter of CK Knife and Tool with the product and the gear that I've been getting from him and being able to do videos on it and to make, well, life a little bit more enjoyable as you go out camping, overlanding and everything. So big shout out to Josh at Lolo Overland. And a second shout out is with my buddy Tristan over at Forbidden Off-Road. Tristan's been a really big help with teaching me a little bit about videography and filming and such like that, and the photography. Now Josh and Tristan both have a very extensive background in it, but Josh gets so busy with all the other stuff he's doing, I try not to bother him too much with that. So I go over to Tristan and I poke at him and I pull on his ear a little bit and try to get some more information, but I'm going to be limited to how I do stuff and basically what I do in the shop here. So, but Tristan, thank you very much. Again, those guys' links will be down below as well. But now, 2020, let me say, before 2020, thank you to everybody that, I mean, you customers and repeated customers for knives at CK Knife and Tool. Wow, you guys, that is just amazing. And thank you very much to a lot of the folks on Instagram spreading the word and sharing CK Knife and Tool with folks that otherwise didn't hear about me. I think that's the biggest part about Instagram that I like so much. It seems to be, it can be a very small community, and I really like that. That's really cool, more so than Facebook has ever been. So a big shout out to all my grammars. Thank you very much. But getting back to 2020, the first main trip I think I'll be doing in 2020 is the Northwest Overland Rally in Plain, Washington, like I did last year. Now again, it's going to be myself and Benny are going to be heading out there, and I think I'm going to have a few friends coming out, as well as Ben's friend Asher that was with this year, and his dad might be coming out this time, as well as Greg. You guys have seen Greg in the past. He plans on coming out. But this year, we're going to make a few more changes. I pretty much am not going to have a lot of product with me, but I have had a few people reach out and that have been inquiring about buying a knife. They would like to have received their knife at the rally. So we're going to be doing that. And in doing so, I'm going to do a video on that with a couple of customers, 2, 3, 4, whoever's going to be there. We're going to do a big video kind of getting everybody together and presenting them with their knives. But I also am going to try to host and organize a customer appreciation, kind of like a lunch. I'm thinking about maybe doing some soft tacos or something, and just have everybody kind of hang around by Trip and my tent and everything, and just sit back and just chill and talk about knives, or talk about their experiences in the outdoors, talk about family, pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll be there. We can discuss things, and I'm thinking about doing it either on a Friday afternoon or Saturday afternoon. Now, January comes, and that's when everybody can register for the rally. I am going to be registering in January, but I will not be a vendor, because being a vendor, I'm going to have a booth, I'm going to have to be set up, and then I have to have somebody there all the time. And the other thing is too, is I'm not going to have a lot of knives that I could just bring and sell. And in doing that, I get very cautious, and so does my insurance, about doing something like that and having people, you know, grabby, touchy-feely the knives. I don't want anybody cutting themselves, not paying attention, or, you know, maybe being distracted by something. I don't want that. And I'm sure a lot of you can understand it, especially you that own my knives. They get pretty sharp, and I really don't want that liability, and I'm pretty sure my insurance company would frown if I did something like that. So if I do have some knives, I may be bringing them, but I am not planning on bringing a bunch of knives for sale, because I am planning on having a lot of customers and their pre-orders, because I already have almost, well, I got over 24 orders right here, and like you've seen, I'm already starting it, so getting that sorted. But keep an eye on more when that comes. More of that will probably be happening around May, because the rally's in June. So around April, May, I might be announcing more of it. But if you're thinking about doing the rally, or interested in doing something like an Overland Rally, check that out. I'll leave a link to the website. Northwest is NW Overland Rally, I think it was. I'll leave that down below so you can start following along and bookmark it. And first time in January, you can go ahead and mark your spot, and maybe we'll see you out there. So I think that's just about it. I think I've got everybody. Oh no, how could I have forgotten my buddy Mike at Off-Road Warehouse? I know, Mike, I'm sorry. Forgive me, buddy. Mike with Off-Road Warehouse has been such a great sounding board with all the projects that I'm doing with Trip, myself, Josh, so many other people. We don't know what to do with the Nissan Titans because there's not a lot of people out there with the experience. But Mike over at Off-Road Warehouse, he is well worth his weight in gold and helping guys like me out troubleshoot and get organized and find just the right product that I can get on Trip. And I got one more thing. I just got it yesterday, but I'm not going to do the video. It's not coming out until January 2020, so you're going to have to wait. But it's a really neat little thing for Trip. I was excited to get it. It's the small things. It's the little things, right, guys? But that is it. Big shout out again to everybody. John P. with Pelican, all the gang that I met at Nissan, Jay and Wendy and Marty, and Carrie. Oh, guys, Peg Leg Porker. If you're down in the Georgia area, Tennessee, that Nashville area and stuff like that, you gotta head up there. I don't care if you're in Florida. You're a lot closer than I am in Washington. Head up to the Nashville area. Check out Peg Leg Porker. He's on Instagram. Check that out, Carrie. He seems to be making some phenomenal stuff. They've got their own bourbon, and they got some good food in his restaurant, and I'm thinking 2020, I might have to do a road trip down there, or at least fly down there just to get my belly full so I can fly back and tell you guys how awesome Carrie's place is. But Carrie, it was really cool meeting you as well. And a big shout out to you and everybody. Hopefully you and your family are going to have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as well as everybody else, thank you again. This is going to be the last video for 2019. My dad is actually coming in later this afternoon. I'm going to head out to the airport, pick him up. Then it's just basically going to be family time. I'm going to be making knives, making a bunch of videos to get 2019 off and running, or 2020 off and running really good, because as of this past week, this week I'm filming, there's only 2 videos going out. That's today's the 18th. So this week there's only 2 videos going out. Next week, as you're seeing this, there's only 2 videos, and that's it for 2019. Since June, I have done 3 videos a week. That was over 70 weeks of 3 videos a week. Oh, it took a lot out of me. It took a lot of balancing and editing, and it's just craziness. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep that pace up next year, but we'll see. I'm struggling with expanding. I'd really like to get a little bit bigger, but it's really hard to get, you know, not only just the people to come in and get trained and do all this stuff, but also I do things that other people can't do yet, and it's really hard to find that balance, as well as the family obligations that I have. Again, being the homeschooling dad and that stuff, and I'm hoping to start some classes with my kids because we are learning sign, or ASL, brain fart. I shouldn't be doing this when I'm a novice, but me and the kids are learning how to sign language, or how to sign. I know this is signing, and then it's something like this. I know I'm bad at it. I'm still learning. I'm a student, but we're doing all that stuff. We're hoping to go to school for that as well, because what do? You got to work harder today to be a better person tomorrow than you were yesterday. Matt Carricker says, I don't know where he got that from, but I gangstered it from him because it's an awesome saying. Oh, as well as my buddy Seth, my former Marine buddy and fellow knife maker over in Indiana. Be good to each other. That's what Seth always says. So again, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for keeping me from the bottom of the YouTube bucket. I appreciate it. Until the next video, you all have a great Christmas. Have a good 2019 New Year's, and we'll see you all in 2020. Take care. Bye-bye.